If you haven't been singing the Jayhawk fight song by now,
Jefferson, Jayhawk, fight, fight,
then I don't know where you've been. Because this Jefferson team is the talk of the town, the talk of Eastern Iowa. Heck, if water coolers are still a thing, there might not be a football fan in Iowa who isn't talking about Jefferson football's 180.
We still had a lot of support coming into the season, along with some haters and some people just doubting us, and we've definitely turned a lot of heads.
I told them, you put the work in, hard work always pays off. It might not pay off immediately, but you put the work in, it'll come.
The Jayhawks are held out of the end zone again.
We all remember how bad losing sucks. You lose every game for 3 straight years. It's the last thing you want to go back to, so we're all gas, no brakes.
Winless for 3 straight seasons, this Jayhawks senior class had never experienced a win.
1, 2, 3, westside.
Not a single one until the season opener on the road against Muscatine, where they reeled in the big one, landing a 33-24 win over the Muskies.
Touchdown, Jayhawks back on top.
There's always doubt, you know, and then the win, it was an amazing feeling.
That was probably the most rewarding feeling I've ever had in my life.
We all hugged each other, and, you know, Cade Chiz started crying a little bit.
I did not cry. I may have shed a couple tears, definitely. I was super pumped that we were able to do that, but I did not cry.
If you say so, Cade. Well, that road win was nowhere near where this story ends.
Oh, you owe me 10.
The following week, Jeff made mincemeat out of Marshalltown 40-0, flipping the script on a team that did the mincemeat making last year when they beat Jeff 48-0. After that, it was a 33-point win over Des Moines North. Then a 44-point win over Des Moines East. This team isn't just winning, they are completely dismantling their opponents one Friday night after the next.
We got a lot of our players are bought in, especially starting with our seniors, and it's a trickle-down effect.
We want to be, you know, one of those teams that gets to the dome, and we want to be one of those teams that gets remembered for doing something incredible and special, and that lives on for years and years after we've left.
It would be hard to overstate the difference we've seen under head coach Ed Miles.
Over, Zorro, over, Zorro.
Who first made his name in Eastern Iowa as a lumber-laying linebacker for the Hawkeyes.
It was caught by somebody.
Oh, they'll know your name one day, Ed.
Edmund Miles.
Now the man wears a Jefferson visor at all times because a normal hat simply couldn't contain that big football brain.
We got a lot of guys buying into our 3 standards, which are mental toughness, physical toughness, and maximum effort. I truly believe that we have guys that are believing in that and going out on the field and executing.
He's got a dog personality. I mean, we all trust him, and we know that he knows what he's talking about.
We all sort of knew from the moment he came, like, it was just a matter of time before we started winning. There was no doubt that we'd turn it around, though.
Get hands on your guy and run with your guy.
To better understand the historic impact of this team, why not sit down with a man who, without any hyperbole, wrote the book on Jayhawk football, Jefferson historian John Hegarty.
I think it's brought a lot of excitement back to the West Side. You know, it's a little bit cliche that football can do that to a school, but it's true.
3 years without a win, and much like another Sunglass Sporting head coach, this Jeff squad's been keeping some receipts. They know the sting of getting 50 points dropped on them on a nightly basis, and there's a game coming this Friday night that they've had marked on their calendars for a long time.
My lock screen on my phone for the last 2 years has been that 79-0 score against Wash, and we're coming back for what we want.
All those teams that ran it up on us last year, we want to run it up on them this year for sure, especially week 5.
No, we keep it in the back of our mind, and that's about it. I say we keep it in the back of our mind.
Jefferson's flying pretty high right now, and I know Coach Miles is trying to keep their feet on the ground.
My job is to bring them down off of that cloud 9 and keep them grounded on the floor.
That's going to be a chore for any coach at any school, but I think this Jefferson team, because of that senior leadership, they're gonna have a nice year.
Just 10 months removed from a third straight winless season, these boys are the number 5 ranked team in Class 5A. Let that sink in for a minute. And while you do, consider also that a win would assure the Jayhawks of something they've only enjoyed once this entire century: a winning record.
We think the party's going to keep coming, the confetti's going to keep raining on us. We'll go day by day and see where it takes us.
Throughout the rest of the 60s and 70s, Jayhawks were one of the untouchable teams in the state. 3 state championships, 3 state runners-up. I think that's maybe what this group is aspiring to, and if they can get it started now, it'll drift down to the lower classes, and then the expectation comes up to where tradition never graduates.
On the west side of Cedar Rapids, Owen Sebring, Iowa's News Now Sports.